Let me just send myself to the broadcast. Duh, that would be nice if people could actually see what's going on, Lisa. Hello. So let me do that again. It's that time again. Shift your thinking Tuesdays. Okay, that I feel better about that. I feel totally better about that. The jingle has happened. All right, so let me just share this. Boom. I will ask you to invite someone, share with someone who wants to transform their inner experience to a phenomenal outer experience just for 13 minutes. And today's topic is, I'm calling it, Are You a Right Fighter? It took me some time to get past this because I was operating from a place of ego. So as we get into the reading, you'll understand why I called it, Are You a Right Fighter? And today's segment is called, or the author's section, we're reading from section, Winning the Argument Isn't Worth Losing the Intimacy. Are you a right fighter? All right. Unless you like to argue, and there are those who do, I'm sure you would agree that life would be better if heated arguments and tantrums could be shifted to cool, calm discussions that eliminate yelling, throwing things, and stomping out of the room. Can you see why I called it, Are You a Right Fighter? Are you so busy wanting to fight and be right? Let it go, give it up. It's not worth losing the intimacy. And I'm telling you, when I learned this, my relationships have improved dramatically. So I get to smile a lot more about it. The key is to understand our will and our role in arguments. Our personal will isn't a bad thing. In fact, our will is the driving force for many great things in life, and can even be directed toward reconciliation and healing in relationships. Go figure. But when it becomes unbendable or self-righteous, it can become a destroyer of relational progress and perhaps of the relationship itself. Let me stop there so I can build on that real quick. If you are joining us for the first time, welcome. Jump in the comment box, say hi, say hello. We are doing Shift Your Thinking Tuesdays for 13 minutes of your time so that we can transform your inner experience to a phenomenal outer experience. In today's segment, I'm calling, Are You a Right Fighter? Is it worth losing the intimacy? And this is a huge one because I feel like this is coming from a place of ego. You're too busy wanting to be right. And oftentimes I'm finding, and just in my personal journey, you can identify whether you're wanting to be right from a place of a trigger, because you may have experienced a similar or familiar situation, argument, type of relationship, and there might be triggers in there where you feel like, nah, this time I'm not going to let it go down like this. I'm going to win this one. And is it really worth it? Is it really worth the fight? For what? To say that you were right? It's a lot of wasted energy that you could actually be transforming, moving that up your kundalini, up your chakra systems, and just creating a higher vibratory experience. Yeah. So are you a right fighter? Let's continue. It helps to accept that in just above every conflict, both parties contribute to the problem at different levels at different times. Sometimes our contribution to the problem is low on the percentage scale. Other times it reaches near 100%. And depending on what's going on, you can quickly go from 0 to 100 and realize that you're over here trying to be a right fighter at the wrong time with the wrong person. So that can escalate in different ways. I think coming to a conclusion or a personal resolution that I don't need to be right all the time is a sign of emotional intelligence and emotional maturity. And this is what this is about. We want to definitely grow in ourselves, grow in our maturity. So I'm so excited about this because been here, and I do catch myself. I do definitely catch myself to see if am I wanting to win an argument, because of self-righteousness? Am I trying to be a right fighter? Or do I have a valid, firm point to stand on? And then you have to dissect, is this argument a debate? Am I trying to be right? Am I trying to convince somebody? What's the motive? What's the intention? Set the intention, be clear. Yeah. So it says, the author continues, regardless, searching for how we may have contributed to or played a role in the breakdown in confessing our part creates the space for conversation to move into trust and humility instead of blame. And it shows a commitment to own up to our stuff. That's what's up. This revelation can take the sting out of arguments and point our will toward relational solidarity rather than living on the edge of conflict at every turn. Emotional maturity. It takes a level of emotional maturity. I'm going to stop there so we can build on that real quick. It does take a level of emotional maturity to identify the W's, the who, what, where, the how, the why. When you are in a conversation or you're corresponding, communicating with someone, and it goes left or it goes right, and you catch yourself and say, that wasn't my intent. Let me bring it back. Let me slow down. Let me be clear. Let me just reiterate. Those are all important points that you would be asking yourself in terms of, am I contributing to a solution here, or am I a right fighter? Is it really that? Is it worth it? Is it worth losing the intimacy? And you guys know, I'm all about intimacy, self-love, all of that good stuff, love vibration. So it's important for me to keep that intimacy. Why? Because that is my peace. I will not lose my peace over something that I have control over. Because again, the only thing we can control is this right here, is self, which is why, again, we do shift your thinking, because it is controlling and disciplining your state of mind to elevate, change, transcend, transform your state of physical outer experience. If you can't figure it out yet, I'm having a phenomenal time doing this and in practicality, in applying it daily in my life. And I thank you all for those of you who have actually been calling and connecting with me, sending me emails, DMing me. This is amazing because you guys are responding to exactly the point of doing this. We get to transform and build together. So I really thank you and love you for those of you who are connecting with me offline, because I invite you to do that. You have my contact. And I am making myself accessible to you in any way that I can be of service to you so that we can continue to build together. That's why I say connect and build with me at LA Super Agent. So let's finish up. He says, the revelation can take the sting out of arguments. I covered that. But conflicts will happen. So while in the thick of them, our will should focus on making a difference. Let me read that again. But conflicts will happen. So while in the thick of them, our will should focus on making a difference, not making the other pay. Ooh, taking responsibility, not taking advantage, and getting it right while not always needing to be right. Is it worth it? Is it worth it for you to be a right fighter and lose your sense of peace? Marinate on that. I leave that with you today. Are you out here being a right fighter? You're trying to be right all the time and losing your sense of peace, your sense of fulfillment. You are creating that experience. You may have some triggers about it and you've got to work through it, but is it worth you losing the intimacy? I leave that with you. Have a powerful and productive week. I will see you next week for Shift Your Thinking Tuesday number 19. Love you, love you, love you.